Tucker, you so silly. Tucker, you're so silly with your snores. Hi, welcome to my tube. I'm Marge, I'm heyoka empath. I just like having these little conversations on the way I feel about things. I'm all in my feelings today, man. Wonder what my aspects are. That'll tell me when that pops up, my notification pops up. I get aspects, your natal aspects today. Ching! My DNA being activated. Okay, this is what we get to work on today, spirit. Ching! What are you gonna plug into? Oh man, the intuitions, man. I woke up rested. I wish I would have had a pen and a paper next to me. The stuff that I was thinking about when I was anchoring back into my soul sack after my spirit was wandering and venturing out, looking at life from higher dimensions and perspectives, just working it out. We're all just trying to work it out. What was the song before this? It made me think of stuff. People are walking off the earth. It's the song that was on by Revo. People are walking off the earth all over the place. Energy is changing. It's huge turnover, man. The energy is freaking insane. Gas bombs. I did a video a couple years ago called Gaslit by Uncle Sam. I think it's really poignant for the current times, the current age. See, we all live the same year, the same seasons, the same solar calendar, and it's a spiral. And the spiral's kind of going down the tubes. I don't know if people have noticed that or not, but it's not necessarily going down the tubes ain't a bad thing. Ain't always a good thing. I'd rather go up the tubes. But people are ascending. They're ascending to whatever version, the fullest potential of what they are to be in this incarnate. Whether it's in love, in light, or shadow, darkness, greed. Yeah. It's easy to see who's choosing, who's selling their souls. It's easy to see left and right who's sold their soul. But the cool part of it is people can do things to repent. They can do things to de-escalate their de-baggedness any given day. Yeah. What the things that people do to ease their conscience, that's why the whole church infrastructure control exists. And it's all to pray. I mean, it was intended, the heart space intended was, get people to live in love, live in love, live in love. And then it got seedy and gross. And then they started finding children's bones in the basement of the Vatican and hush. And then it's like people started, thinking about privacy and everybody's private. And what they're really trying to do is cover up secrets. And that whole, I think about how many criminals got away with doing dastardly, disgusting things just because they went in on a Sunday and said, I fucking did this, and they're like, all right, give us all your money and we won't tell. You say some Hail Marys and then, we'll keep track and records of all of these, It's always about keeping track and records. That's what people are finding out. There's no such thing as privacy. If people want to know who you are, they will look in your window and they will see. If they're that powerful, they want to know what you are inside, they will get you, cut you open, and look inside of you. People with money can do whatever they want, and then they get the things distorted because they don't know what it is to be disciplined and have discipline. And so when things get quiet and they have to, get creative and just think of creative ways to pass the time, they can't. And they go to the dark places. They go to the nasty, seedy, cheater way places and the chasing sensations and all that stuff that racks up terrible, terrible karma. They go to those places because it's instant gratification, all that instant. Oh, the most pure gratifications are organic, you know. Vegetables don't just pop up out of the ground. You know, so anybody that is too into stuff instant, you know, when they want stuff too much, oh so they might start shaking and trembling if they don't get it and have some sort of physical reaction, and I don't need to hang out with those types of folks. They're pretty weird. So people are figuring out that intimacy should be more sacred. That people shouldn't pass themselves around like a seventh tradition basket, if you get me. Or if you don't. Self-supporting, man. We're all supposed to be self-supporting emotionally, financially, spiritually. But some people just don't feel like letting that happen for whatever reason. Like, there's a hierarchy. Like, people are different. Like, not everybody's the same. Like, they're better. You hear freaking Tucker over here sawing laws, man? He has a deviated septum. I believe. I think that, I wonder, a pup, whatever they call them, a CPAPs? CPUPs? CPAP machine. I keep an eye on it because I know people that they have dogs that have had like tumors in their sinus infection and stuff. So I make sure he's consistent. He's snored like this since he was a little baby. He was a little baby. His first name was Sprite. He was Sprite, and his brother was Pepsi, and I think his other brother was Harry or something like that. I love the rescue that my dogs came from, the Beagle Basset Rescue of the Heartland. They are freaking incredible. Go check out their Facebook page, the stuff that they do. It was a lot more fun before the earth shut down, but they'll be back to their super bingo one day. They would fill freaking venues and just make freaking, you know, in a night, just raise like freaking $7,000 for their rescue. You know, and they take such good, I mean, they have a smooth operation. They inspired me to create an app for pet rescue that had like 4 different interfaces or 4 different main points for the transport, for tracking of like the heart guard and food and stuff, because they provide all that stuff, flea rim, all that stuff they give to make sure for their fosters to be proper taken care of, and the success stories that I've seen, the success stories have just been amazing, you know, so I know all about how things can heal. I've seen it. When I got Tucker, he was 6 months old. He lived the first 6 months till he came to rescue, and I saw his picture, and I'm like, I gotta have him. And so he wasn't in rescue for very long, because Artie needed a buddy, and I was only gonna have 2, and then I ended up getting 4, and then saw him, and then I couldn't reach down to pet him because he spent his first 6 months in his life living in a cage, and kids oftentimes are made to live in cages and stuff too. That's why I'm so adamant about this stuff. Because I've seen it my whole life. I've seen conditions, deplorable conditions that people have had to live in. I've seen people, like you know, living in squalor. It's like people don't understand what it's like concrete floors and tin roofs, you know, when it's really hot and it's really cold and bugs and all that. They don't understand what it's like. They don't get it. And now, because so many people have lived this way, because people have to freaking squander and live that same way, but at the opposite end of the spectrum, with the same mentality, but their lack is up at top, so they don't share. And then so it makes it hard for so many people. Look at what's happened across the whole world. The world is blowing up. There is hell to pay. People are paying their hell. There are karmic retributions. City blocks are blowing up. There are 100 miles an hour winds, you know, hurricanes, essentially, by all intents and purposes, in the middle of the landmass that are moving across, freaking like street cleaners, going, fucking do over and do it right again. Civilization is falling. People are burning down their own cities and towns, you know, the ones that they used to go downtown and eat with their families and, you know, picnic in the park and sit, you know, they're shitting in their own houses. It's cognitive dissonance. And it has a lot to do with being gaslit by Uncle Sam. And it's happening in our nation, and people are waking up to it. I'm so excited. Don't Drink the Kool-Aid shares this chick's video. She's a young gal. Got maybe early 20s, maybe teenage. I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard for. I gotta be around people to determine age. I can't just tell by, you know. I'm an energy reader, man. I gotta be around energy. But she's freaking articulate, and freaking, I think the world's gonna be okay. I think she'll stay on the right course, you know. I think things are gonna be okay, because these freaking kids are smart, man. They're freaking a lot smarter than we was. I bought into it. I played the freaking whole reindeer game. I watched the kids that had to come back. I talk about whenever I see somebody with a certain kind of go bag, with a backpack, I ask them, were you in were you in the first round? Because I supported that. I was there, so I watched the first wave of about 500 young men who just spent, you know, all their summers playing baseball, freaking getting laid and playing video games and shit like that. And just a minute, Benno. And then they go out, you know, to get a job. Okay, I'll just go in the Marines, you know, because I'm the toughest, baddest. And then they go in, and then they got to do what they're just paid to do. And then they had to come back, and they left them in a hangar. Just, they didn't have a place to deploy them. They didn't have any place to, okay, after they wipe them out, then where were we going to take? So they were there for like weeks, or days, like several days. So, not weeks. They weren't there as long as I was. Come on. Go all the way to the back. Do not bother Tucker. He is asleep. Go. Go. On delay. Vamonos. Love you. No, not that way. That's what I don't want you to do. He's right there. This is going to cause problems, and we are on a live right now. This is the way I didn't want you to go. Go that way, buddy. Just for today. Come on. Go. On. He's over there. Come on. My will, not yours. Be done. Please, because he gets so salty. Look, he's right there. See? See? Can you just cooperate? Go back over there. Yeah, that's it. Good dog. Good dog. You're such a good boy, Benny. Good boy. Don't. He's right there. Don't step on it. Don't step on him. Good boy. Come over here. Come over here if you want. Creepy crawls. Come over here. Don't step on him. Just stay right there, okay? We'll hang out later. We'll do the video later, and you can be right up front. Good dog. Say hi to Benno. He can't be close up right now. He shifts. That's how he shifts his energy. He yawns. Okay, I'll be chill here. I'll just cooperate. We see you, Benno. I'm an animal reader too. Just read their spirit, man. Just read their energy. I know where he wanted to be. He wanted to be right here where he usually lays, but he came in late, and Tucker's not is anyway. Anyway, what was I talking about? Poor Benny, barging in Benny. People are waking. I don't know what I was talking about. Confounded. Is anybody in the talkie room? Good day, Andrew Glassing. That's a nice name. That's a pleasant name. Andrew Glassing. I like glass. My last name is Hessig. H-E-S-S-ick. That's how I tell people. Hessig. They're like, huh? Because it's German, and it came from, and it derived from, evidently the spelling is H-E-Z-Z-I-G. Hessig. 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 That's such a hard, energetic descendants. Hard ass, just hard genetic pool to be splashing around in. German. I mean, look at what Germans are related to. I mean, We ain't known for being all fucking teddy bear soft and cuddly, you know, and that's father's side. That's Aries side. So I get my Aries from my Aries son. I'm the Aries son of my Aries father. My brother is a Virgo. It's so weird how energy freaking works, man. It's so... And karma and people's stories, once they figure it out, and their DNA and in their ancestral storyline, oh my goodness, it's just freaking wild. We have all lived all lives. We're just little mirrors in a disco ball of water that's 70% water, 30% mass, just like us, just like human beings. I mean, it's all so beautifully synchronistic, and all these folks are waking up to making the connections, connecting the dots. I was watching Connected on Netflix last night, and I'm just like, this guy doesn't do anything different than what I want to do. He just knows people. Well, where are all the people that I've known in my life, you know, that I've always touted about with all their, you know, their abilities and their, you know, I've wanted to work with them, and I reach out to, hey, you want to work together? I got all these ideas. You want to work? And I don't even get answers back, man. It's like people don't want to change the world. Or people, that's what I was talking about, the first wave. Is I saw the kids coming back, and then they left them in the hangar. And they didn't know what to do with them. And these guys just freaking murdered people. Straight up went in, freaking savaged, freaking probably rape, pillaged this whole freaking area, you know. And then saw that it was just, looked just like their hometowns, like Iowa and, you know, Indiana and Redding, California, and it just, because the land looks the same, and all these, and these people have different shades of skin, but, you know, and they talk different, but they're just living their lives, and you go into their houses and you decimate them, and then you see the reality of it, and then you see that they did that so the contractors can pay themselves 3 times as much because it's in a war zone area that they fucking made a war zone. And it's all about business, and it's all about profit, and it's all about... And to see the psyche of what it did to those kids, that's the thing. To see what it did to those kids. And then they had to sit and they had to think about it in their time out. They had to think about it. There's like one bathroom in this hangar. There's a male and a female, and I quit. They just overwrought the whole hangar, you know. And then when they let them drink, like, then when they got back, then they like gave them, you know, they did. I mean, there was no psychologist. There was like no support. There was no, hey, you know, debriefing, and there was nothing like that. They just had to sit, you know, and they had all their gadgets, and they made tents and like, you know, their bedrooms in their tanks, in their living quarters in their tanks, because, you know, so people don't know what it's like to live in shitty conditions. And the smell, because the bathrooms were so overwrought with and plugged up, because they finally opened up the bowling alley, the bar at the bowling alley, and so all those kids went in and got freaking completely obliterated, and then they went into those frequencies. Oh, those frequencies that alcohol brings you into, those low, it takes you back, makes you replay things. Oh, alcohol is such a devious, terrible tool. And it's so harmful, and it's just straight up poison and toxic, and it is such a huge escape for so many people, and it's hard to see. So finally the base commander had to close down the base, put a handle on that, because people can't control themselves, and that's what we're seeing in the world. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing that? How many, I mean, people are gonna go to, I'm not a fan of Oregon was, I moved here based on an idea that I had when I was a young girl. I always wanted to live in Oregon, just because I wanted to live here. And when I moved here, I didn't take the time to look about and see what the area was about. see what the people were about. And for instance, one of the first key factors that I noticed when I visited here, when I had my very first job interview back in 2015, I think it was 16, early 16. My first position from the state being turned down after like 67 times. Something just absurd, just ridiculous. Like, I quit trying to look for, because I just cut out more and more expenses and got good with living on nothing because nobody was going to give me a job. Because I'm a strong person, and evidently they just want a bunch of freaking idiot puppets to work for people here and that's the thing is, that is my saving grace, because look, I got a whole folder on the greeted Salem, whole freaking folder on their corruption. And I've been keeping track for 3 years, and they keep putting it under wraps. But one of the selling points, I was like, oh look, they paint look at the signs, the lines on the streets are freshly painted. And then once I moved here, what occurred to me is they paint them like freaking every month. People know what side of the fucking street to drive on. And then they probably, I was watching, there was one gas bomb. I think this one, I can't remember where this one was. There was one gas bomb. I think, no, this was in Minnesota. This is after the riot. And a building was completely demolished and like decimated. And then the city came in and put a fence around it because it was going to cause harm. And then insurance companies aren't paying out for this stuff because they have caps and limits, don't you know? They have caps and limits. Not when they're freaking fluffing their expense accounts, they don't. They never do then. Politicians either. You know? People, they spend more flying around saying, hey, put me in this position, than people get in a year for basic food and shelving cost coverage needs. And if you're single, fuck you. You don't get nothing. If you're single, I never had a bunch of kids. I don't get all the benefits of being on all that stuff. Yeah, I'm a college educated. I got a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Information degree. I worked at third largest country in the world, G4S's IT department. I have all this experience. My resume is stacked, but it's just me and mom, and I can't leave mom, and mom has health stuff that she needs tending to, and I got no friends. So I freaking deleted my I canceled my career because it don't even fucking matter. And this morning I got weepy because I thought about how much effort, how many miles I ran my ass off literally to get in the fucking Air Force, to go to college, to get a degree that I don't even fucking use now. Yeah, life changes, life happens, shit happens. You just have to adapt and overcome, So I was listening to Molly McCord. She did a pretty cool talk yesterday. She was talking to, just go check her out, man. Molly McCord, Adrian Elise. These are my teachers. Astrology readers, man. I hope Rick puts a talk out today. I really like that dude, man. He's even keel. He's Libra. He's Libra, dude. When people are balanced, they're freaking cool as fuck. But when they're in balance, they can get Ellen. I saw how, what's his face? Howard Stern's like, fucking live in your bitchdom. Be a, swing your wiener, Ellen. Be a dick. Don't backpedal all this stuff. That's my perception of it. All the headline said is he thinks that she needs to live in her bitchdom or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, look at all the people. It's just so gross. It's just the truth is coming out. 2020 is year of clear vision, and either you're of the light or you're of the dark, and it don't freaking matter. Because I've lived in this incarnations, I have straight up made decisions that I didn't think about hurting other people because I was just living my life. There ain't no spirit in that. We're collective conscious, man. We're all equal. We're all vibrationally, literally, scientifically, vibrationally, frequentially connected. Wait till people start freaking hovering, or not hovering, what's that? What's the, levitating and shit. I love it. The peace dealer's talking about people waking up in their superpowers, man. We have the powers to heal with our hands. What do you think massage therapy is? You know, hugging, you know, all that stuff. The thing of it is a group of nasty, creepy crawler perverts made it all twisted. And not everything has to freaking end with a happy ending, you know? Not everything has to be sexualized. That is so freaking frustrating. That everything has to come up to freaking chasing sensations, really? That's as deep as people get? That's it? Just, that's it? That's like the goal? Like, I think about how much money is freaking wasted on the planet, and money's not even real either, just for, like, I don't know, stretch it out, 45-second go. I mean, people take from kids, they just take it. They take it, and none of the people that have been taking it for years and years, it's because they're all doing it. It's fucking disgusting what people are starting to see. Save the children. It's fucking disgusting. And I was 10 months old. My first story. How old were you? What's your first story? Everybody's got him, that fucking dirty, creepy, pervy uncle. I didn't have one. Mine was always appropriate. He would be like, no, you don't act like that. Let kids be kids. Don't dress them up, paint their faces, put them all in makeup, and make them do the pageantry and dance around like grown women, and tell them to get babies, and here's a baby, and isn't it fun to be a mommy, and don't, you know, and 3-year-olds shouldn't be in love with Adam Levine, and what the fuck is wrong with you people? It's people, the thing that people do that's cute, it's like they have kids, and then they're like they're little robots to control and make them and do what they want and act how they want, and it's fucking twisted. But anybody can have kids. I went to this girl in high school with the girl whose parents hacked her brothers and sisters up, because anybody can have kids. And I was thinking of the whole medical system and what a racket that is. Privacy? The oath? No, it's to protect all the freaking pervy, creepy doctors doing inappropriate things. I know who they are. They all wear the same shoes. They all wear the same shirts, the same brands. Because don't you fucking know who they are? Because if you don't, you oughta. I know who they are. They're always just really the nice ones. You never expect it. You didn't think they all wear the same cologne, drive the same cars. They're all the fucking same. They think they're clever. They think they're smart. And the thing of it is when people live so much in that shadow and that ego, they do this shit out loud, and then they do it out loud and in front of your face, and it's just like, they don't think that they're ever going to get caught. But the reality of the situation is, truth has a vibration. Truth is a frequency. Truth rings. Freedom is a vibration. It rings. See, out in Philly, with the cracked bell, that is an energetic cognitive dissonance. That a bell, that's a design flaw right there, you know? That's a hard energy too. That's a control, do it my slave. That is the heart of seedy shit. Philly. Never had a desire to visit. The place makes my stomach turn. Energetically. I can make my own cheesesteak. I can make whatever I want myself. You know what? I think that they fucking figured out I was a witch before I figured out I was a witch. As a matter of fact, Sean. As a matter of fact, I think you're onto something. But see, I'm a good witch. I'm a witch of the light. I use plant medicine to heal. You know? I use plant medicine, and you heal the body, and then your mind starts to heal. But your body has to heal first. And I think that they figured it out. Dude, I mean, it's weird because just south, my brother Go look up. He's like freaking high in government in California politics. He is up there. He's a fedora wearing fucking. Oh, I'm not doing much. I'm just a lawyer. You know? Dude, I'm waiting for that guy to freaking buy a Tesla. No, he's not that. I don't know. It's none of my business. What other people do is none of my business. But it's just like all this nepotism in the world, all this bros club, all these, hey, don't you know, sweet, hey, clubs and dealings and shit like that. I think that I would be, you know, people would want to work with me with my history of integrity. But I guess that just tells me that they don't have one, so I'll probably figure that out too. Happy Meal. I was looking for my sketch. You know what? Maybe I'll do that right now. I got a couple sketchbooks right here. Sean, you said that yesterday. It's hard for me to sketch because I get Here's a rose I did a little while ago. Oh. And a butterfly. That was for my niece. Just off the top of my head, I used to doodle for hours when I was a kid because my brother he was in high school. I was in junior high, and he for a summer job. Here's some eyebrows. He had to clean up the high school and stuff. It's slave labor. It's kid labor. But that's how I got my summer or my school clothes. That's how I got to work when I was 15. But anyway, so I would just doodle. I would sketch, and it would just keep me zen because I had so much energy, but we never had any money, so I could never go out and do all this stuff that I wanted to do because we couldn't afford it. So I had to get creative. Mom would say, go do something creative. Go create something. Go create something. Go do something constructive. And then people have the vibration to do things that are destructive. That negative potential. That people that just like loud noise and to break shit just because they could. There's this guy, he put the roof on in my house when I lived in Omaha. Hardly wanted to do business with him. But it was like, you know, here's a prototype of my dog bed. Dog on it with the little slats up there on top. And the reason why I didn't want to do business with him, because I knew that he did things like this. That he was doing a remodel because he was a construction, and they could take that, you know, tubs out. They could take all that stuff out and make it all, you know, reuse it all. And there's a lot of places that do that. They're real careful. And this girl I know, or that knew him also, you know, she didn't have a lot. She was starting out in life. And he was doing a remodel, and there was a big jacuzzi tub, and he asked that, and she was helping him on the remodel to help earn some extra couple bucks under the table. Because everything's under the table. Everything's under the table. Fucking government is so under the table. They call it national freaking security. It's fucking bullshit. Anyway. So he asked, she asked if he'd be careful when he pulled that tub out. And he oh yeah, I'll totally be careful. Yeah, it's yours, no problem. You know, you've been a great worker. You know, just like a salesman, just tells you whatever. Just people that don't have a spirit can just say words that just they don't have any feeling behind it. There's no emotion because they don't have any, and they're just trying to sell you shit so they can get their money and go fucking chase their sensations. And so, this guy, and And all three of his kids were like problem children in school. All three of them were just nightmares, and probably going to be high school nightmares, just terrors, because they, oh, everything is so cute, and it's all destructive, because look, this is what the kind of shit their dad does. And then, so, when it came for him to pull the tub, you know, he got it out and everything, and it was intact, and it was in the front yard, and homeboy took a sledgehammer and broke it down in the front yard, and then told old girl that it was too tricky. He tried to pull it. He tried to get it out, okay, but there was problems, so you know it broke here and it broke there. Yeah, and these are people that are, you know, in programs of recovery and shit like that. You know, these are the cream of the crop. That, you know, so I think about how people act when people aren't looking. It's just, and I see the thing of it is I don't think about it. I don't think about it. I don't think about it. I try not to think about it. I spend a lot of time not thinking about it because I feel. I'm empath, heyoka, empath. Look up heyoka, what heyoka do. I feel what people are because I've been full spectrum. See, it's experience. Life experience is what puts you on your spectrum. And sometimes you come into life in a traumatic kind of way, or something happens to you in a traumatic kind of way, some kind of trauma, something that puts your vibrational state in a heightened frequency. And then when that happens, you know that shit exists. So you're always going to be wondering, okay, if it happened, you know, with this, you know, because everybody has that potential to cause you harm or to help you. But look at the world. Look at how many people, look how much the world would be different if people helped people instead of hindered them because they didn't feel so little and small about themselves. But they're changing. It's changing. So the end of the world, the end of the world. I'm going to go watch, I got an errand to do this morning, but then I'm going to go just freaking chill and watch freaking Umbrella Academy all day. Season 2! Loving it! Just watched one episode last night. Freaking love that shit, man. It's all real. It's all real. It's all collective consciousness. You know, we can be living in that world by end of the year. You know, third week of December, the planet's going to be an entirely different place than it is